I think the players we've got this time, at least Major, fantastically good. I am so excited to see what he does against viOlet. I mean, we saw him take out QXC in the last round with some great play. And yeah, I'm stoked, man. I am jazzed. We see the have fun and the good game out of our players. In the yellow, we have viOlet in the 6 o'clock position, and at the 9 o'clock position, we have xSixTerran, the artist formerly known as Major, spawning in and throwing down his first supply depot.
All right, viOlet about to take a shot at the three-peat. First time out on the rundown here with Rance, and you know what? I'm down with the dynasty right off the bat. That tells me everybody else is a damn scrub. All right. Hey, QXC, thanks for calling in earlier. Thanks for playing in the tournament. But yes, you're included in that small parenthesis that says scrub. It's right there because you got taken out. You didn't make it, buddy. Next time, my friend, get out here. Get out here, take another stab at it. I'm sure you'll make it, friend.
And it looks like a little bit of an interesting build out of viOlet. Looks like he went for an extractor trick. It's not something you see a lot of Zergs do, but it is something that I have seen done when players want to maybe do an 11 pool. So I think viOlet thought there might be some cheesy stuff coming out of Major. Sees, no, that's not the case. There's a gas going down. There's a barracks in the main. That is all super standard stuff. And viOlet goes ahead and throws down the hatch first. Says, don't think you're going to be aggressive too soon right here. And viOlet going all the way up to 16 food before he finally throws in that extractor. So being a little bit greedy here. We'll have to see if Terran decides to punish him for that.
Well, this is a great position here for the Terran to get his drop specials on. And I don't know, for some reason it piqued my spidey sense to think that there would be some pretty serious dropping occurring here once I saw these positions. I have no reason to base that on.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
You know, what's interesting, though, is that second supply depot placement. And, yep, there we go, gas steal.
Gas steal doing down. For those of you younger Zerg players, gas stealing is a great thing to do. It's a great way to basically limit your opponent's builds. You know, if my opponent is opening up with a certain build and he is planning to go Blue Frame Hellion or Reactor Hellion into 2-port Banshee, which we saw Namshur do to, you know, some success against viOlet in the last games. viOlet this game basically saying you cannot make that many Banshees because I am going that quickly because I'm going to steal your gas. I would not be surprised if we see him cancel it again and rebuild. No. Wow. Oh, wow, look at that. Tries to sneak the drone out, fails a little bit. Oftentimes what I do in my games, I will just continually cancel, rebuild, because, and this is the pro tip right here, it actually takes 3 Marines to kill an extractor that is building. So, unless the Terran wants to make 3 Marines, which in a Blue Flame Hellion build, or I'm sorry, a Hellion Expand build like this, they do not want to. They want to make 2. They actually cannot kill that extractor off. Period. Ever.
Interesting.
Until that extra one comes in. viOlet here with a couple Zerglings probably going to get chased back by those. Spinecrawler on the way, though, so he should be fine, and the Queen is about to pop.
All right, Marine's going to put a little bit of heat on this Spinecrawler here, and the Zergling's going to have to come out and deal with it. SCV buffering just a little bit there, but just a friendly little hello from Terran to viOlet there just now. And it looks like the Terran's going to return home just in time to drop a command center at the expansion.
Absolutely, and viOlet leaving 1 guy on gas. I'm wondering what this is for. A lot of times Zergs will use this kind of as a indicator of when I hit 100 gas, then I will do this other thing. Or when I hit, you know, 200 gas, then I will do this other thing. But it looks like Note deciding now to put all 3 people back on gas. Must have seen something happen, probably saw the Hellions at the front. Said, okay, Hellions at the front, I have my Zerglings out to defend. Now, oh, and look at this, almost a good surround there. Could have been a huge surround. A little bit of miscontrol. And 2 more Hellions coming in. That will chase those Zerglings back. Cannot engage that many Hellions that quickly. But look at viOlet setting up for that flank as the Hellions try and run up the top. Will that happen again? Or will Major just sit here and contain the creep spread?
Looks like a couple more Hellions are going to join this party and make a total of 6 here. Oh, nope, those are Marines. Those little blips. I guess they were moving real slow. So we got 2 Marines and 4 Hellions at the front here. Let's take a look inside the base, and we see lots of buildings on their way up, including an additional command center.
So he's going to be up on 3 base very, very quickly. That's actually a very fast 3 base. I mean, at the 7-minute mark to already be 3/4 of the way done with your 3rd command center as Terran means you're going macro mode, and you know you can win with it. So some bold play out of Terran, deciding that he is going to go macro against a macro Zerg.
So I got a question here, because this is the point in the tournament, Gwyn, when the format changes. Obviously, it's not best of 3 anymore. It's
Absolutely.
now best of 5 in this matchup. You know, tournament-wise, best of 5 versus best of 3. What kind of strategies are we going to see in these first 2 games here?
So I think that you know, from either player's perspective, in game one is the opportunity to play your macro game. It is the opportunity to say, this is my play style, this is what I want my play style to be. Hold on, might have a little bit of a push out here. This is exactly how I want my play style to work. And if that fails, I would think that game 2 is the game that you cheese in. On another little thought pattern there. Oh, and look at this Hellion sneak by into the main. This could be huge. No, decides to go for the flank on these roaches. But the other thing I could see working really well is going for a cheese in game 1, and that looks like exactly what viOlet is doing. This is a roach baneling all in off 2 base, and if this is successful, viOlet will just flat out win this game with this attack. And it's very possible that he could, because that is so many banelings, and they are just rolling in. They're going to bust through this so quickly. All 3 teams go in. That's a huge supply block. The bunker will fall. The tank will fall as well.
There's a lot of SCVs there, buddy, but you're right. Look at these roaches. They're going to be able to work out these SCVs, and the follow-up 3 handful of Zerglings. Oh, and they're just going to keep trickling in here, and this is huge, huge trouble
Absolutely
for Terran.
will
Will he be able to seal it up front
I
here?
think he's going to be able to stabilize here, but he has taken a lot of damage. And behind this, viOlet can just continue to go all in, or viOlet can drone. So, I mean, we saw, you know, that's kind of a cheesy build, a very aggressive build out of viOlet in this game.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look at his drone saturation. Definitely not what you would typically want off of 2 base. So he's skimped on the drones to put a lot of pressure on his opponent early. You know, and this is one of those things where mental state plays a big factor here. viOlet basically told Terran, by doing that attack, hey, I am capable of all-inning you, and I am not above doing it. And so now Terran, in all the rest of his games, is on the mental, you know, the mental mindset that I could be all in at any moment. Am I ready for that? And that's absolutely the mindset that you know, viOlet wants his opponent to be in, because then next game he can either do the same thing again, maybe a little bit stronger, or he can just go like 3 base before the 5-minute mark.
Okay, Marines pushing the front. Here's the counterattack. Hits the expansion with the Zerglings, though. And this one, well, not going to be overly costly, but 3 SCVs are taken down in this attempt here. Looks like a little hold position for those Zerglings there. Just going to disrupt mining for the SCVs there. Meanwhile, middle of the map here. Nice scan going down, and these bio units could... Wow, I can't believe they're not going to stick with it, but they're going to go ahead and bail. And they were almost able to drop that spine crawler there. Looks like they're going to drop back, though, as that 3rd base drops. And no reason to really move out here when you're in this position, huh, Gwyn? You just need to get the economy happening, don't you?
I mean, and look at viOlet here. He is continuing unit production off 2 base. This is almost reminiscent of, I would say, like a Keurig Zenith or a July Zerg style, where you get on a couple bases with a medium amount of units, and then you make nothing but units. Look at this, 48 drones. This is definitely July Zerg style right here, where you get on 2 bases with your macro hatch, and then you just make nothing but units until your opponent dies. Looks like he might be thinking about taking this gold base, but I would love to see that super aggressive style out of him in game 1. I think it's very, very effective, especially against Terrans who really skimp on the defense.
The CV's starting to filter over to that 3rd in the red base there. Looks like the gold's finally clean, and the baneling spam begins there out front. Let's keep our eye on this little drop ship here, buddy.
And it looks like your prediction there from the start of the match going to be correct. As we see this drop moving into the main, how many SCVs drones will it kill? Looks like only 1.
Wow, that's great reaction time there from viOlet.
It absolutely is.
He was there for a quarter of a second, and then he ran. Wow.
It's one of those things where you say, you know, if I use screen hotkeys effectively enough, maybe I can be as good as viOlet. Just maybe. But it looks like Terran walling off this edge here. He doesn't want to lose to any sort of Zergling run by. He's on 3 base now. I mean, and viOlet is taking a gold, but that gold is not going to be up very, very quickly. And you know, in this matchup, the gold is really not as powerful for Zerg as it is for Terran.
So you see +1 for the bio units going up here, as well as an armory for the Terran. So heading up the tech tree a little bit further there. What else do we have upgrade-wise there for the Zerg here?
We have the +1 Carapace for the Mutalisk, and this is actually an interesting choice because this is a choice that we've seen a lot of Zergs start making more and more. The initial thought pattern with the Mutalisk was that we were only going to go attack upgrades because we did not want to ever engage in a straight-up fight with our Mutalisks. But as more and more Terran players have started going mech, and oh, I love this counterattack. You know, what Zerg players have said is that with upgraded Thors, you pretty much have to get the attack upgrades, or your Mutalisks are pretty useless. So we see viOlet doing that in all of his games so far.
That was a nice little hole position in the middle of the mineral line there with the Zerglings by viOlet.
Absolutely was.
Did a lot of damage there, able to keep these Zerglings up for long enough to do tons of damage over here in the 3rd base as the Terran army still trying to make its way back. And Bunker gets taken down, not a huge deal there. Ooh,
viOlet at the same time doing some great Mutalisk harass. And this is really, I mean, the kind of play where you can just pick a player apart. Look at this, targeting down the mules just like he should. That's fantastic play out of viOlet. And this is the reason why he has won the past 2 of these cups.
Mutalisk still able to harass inside the base here, just costing scans and APM in the Terran base. It's so weird to say Terran when his name's actually Terran.
it is a little bit strange. I do agree with you there.
4th base going up though for viOlet. He's right on schedule here. Nice creep spread out in the middle here, and the sense of timing here from viOlet is clutch. The minute he sees Terran move out, man, he's in there with a counterattack that turns him right around. So mad props to viOlet there for the sweet timing.
We have a little bit more of a drop moving out toward that potential 5th and 4th base for viOlet. Looks like tries to sneak in for a counterattack there, but no, Terran had not actually moved out yet, so viOlet gonna have to retreat, and stemmed Marines are so fast. Stimming forward, continuing to do damage, will probably take out some of these creep tumors, and that sucks so much if you're a Zerg player to lose that creep spread. But the counterattack does get there, cleaned up though by these Marines from Major.
4th base popping for the Zerg here, but no population of the drones quite yet. You can see a little floaty drop there. Oh, finally fired back up. Yes, let's check in with all our units and an engagement here near the middle, perhaps, as the Mutalisks are... Well, if they were smart, they would make their way over that 3rd, wouldn't they? Here we go. Drop makes it in, though, to the 4th base of the Zerg. And it looks like he could free and clear, take it down. Oh, no, he's going to turn around the entire Zerg army, and it's just going to come back and deal with this. Wow. Everybody comes back.
Going to get cleaned up easily by these Mutalisks. And the hatchery is saved, but that hatchery is very low. I mean, that's probably, what, 4 seconds of stemmed Marauders? 4 stemmed Marauders in a medevac? Just to throw a little bit of math out there. Stemmed Marauders kill a hatchery in 17 seconds.
Oh, I'm digging the path of the Mutalisks here as they're going to hit the base, and that's going to be a big deal there in the Terran base as we see these.
I can't even pay attention to that. I'm just looking at how many banelings we've got morphing. But coming back to this, he took out the engineering bay. That's actually huge, and that is a ton of Mutalisks out for viOlet. 23 on the map right now, and another drop heading for that 4th base. Unless he's able to intercept that, he'll probably be able to snipe the hatch.
That's a lot of mutas, buddy.
31 Mutalisks out now, and we've got even more banelings on the way. I just
didn't know you could afford so many banelings when you had that many mutas.
You know, I think it comes from having, you know, what? How many gas is this?
8 gas, eh?
8 gas up.
There it is. Scary, huh?
But those 8 gas, 2 of them are going to be rendered inoperational here because that hatch falls in about 4 seconds to 8 Marines. Which questions about the prediction I made. And that is a living carpet of Banelings. There's some Mutalisks here at the third, cleaned out a lot of SCVs. Will they be able to snipe it? It looks like no, engaging the Marines instead. He just has so many Mutalisks, he's able to do it. And the command center goes down. There's the hairdryer.
Oh, and I think that's viOlet's cue. He knows at this point that the tide is pretty much turned, and it's completely in his favor. Nice little drop at the gold, though, for the Zerg. It's quelled shortly, and actually just picked up there on the backside, so you can see those
tanks going down. And look at this. viOlet's just like, don't even care. I'm just going to engage those Marines. And he in the Mutalisk count quite a bit, and a Thor is out on the map now with the +1 attack, +2, about 3/4 the way done. +2 armor, though, on the way for the Zerg, as well as 5 more Mutalisks.
Another drop down here at the goal is going to be pretty costly and require all the units to return back, but as you can see, viOlet's got way more forces than he needs to handle that. Nice big pro transfer here, headed towards that base that got taken down. I'm really surprised he didn't send him up to that already up base. And it looks like the Terran's saying, okay, enough is enough, guys. Let's do this. And, ooh, lots of Banelings going to hit that mech unit there, and that's going to be costly, but look at that.
And just a GG out of Terran. viOlet maxing while his opponent was only at 160 supply in that game.
Yep.
Doing so much damage with those Mutalisks. That Mutalisk count was insane, especially with those armor upgrades.
That was a lot of bases, buddy, and it looked like